their opportunity is different. Their scholarship's different. The rev share, all those things are great. Those things are great, but they're not. It's not just a professional contract, and you just show up and play football. Like they got it. There's a lot that they have to do as college athletes. That hadn't changed at all.
You mentioned that's on the recruiting side. Last year, you guys had 70 commitments. Did you guys change anything this year to kind of limit that number compared to this year's class?
No. Just take it as they come. I mean, we just recruit the guys that we think that fit us, and you just don't have any control over that stuff. I mean, you really don't. Guys have to make decisions, and but at the end of the day, we're going to sign a great class, and then we'll fill in with whatever gaps we have based on the things that I talked about, and reload and go again. Try to get better.
You don't think, though, that things have calmed down with the rev share being there and the rules with the CSC in terms
I think all that, I mean, I think it's probably going to take a year or so for things to really kind of settle in, because it's all new. I mean, the CSC's been in business since July. So, I mean, I think, and everybody front-loaded all the money. So I think there's a settling process, but sooner or later they're going to justify why they exist. I mean, the CSC. I mean, somewhere along the line, I mean, they're going to justify their existence as an organization. And, their existence is to enforce the cap and to make sure that there is a legit NIL process. That everything's approved. There's a process. We haven't had any processes. So it's not that you can't do NIL. You certainly can do that, but there's at least there's some process to it. So I think we're heading in a better direction. We're not there, and we're probably a year or so away from a little bit more order. But it's way better right now than it was last year, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, at least from a structure standpoint, but not fully, in effect.
One more on retention. Just obviously, when you have a 5-5 season, Sharks are going to circle. Do you have a good sense of your top freshmen, sophomores, guys like that who maybe don't have an NFL decision but might hear from another school that those guys are?
That's just the way of the world. That's a yearly thing. I mean, but we communicate with our guys daily. That's not something we do just once a year. There's always, but there'll be some guys that you probably expect to maybe leave, and then there'll be some other guys that maybe surprise you. I don't know. We never know. You never know. Those are all real-time things as they come about. But we got a great group of guys that I think love Clemson, came here, for the right reasons, and but again, you just react to whatever comes your way.
Obviously, still so much to happen, as you pointed out. You don't know who's coming, going, high school size. But do you have an idea of a portal size as it stands now?
I mean, we got a few spots. 5, 7, 10? I don't have a number. We know we got a couple of spots that we've got to fill, and we've known that. But as far as what that is, I mean, we've led the nation in retention the last 3 years in the craziest time in the history of football. So I would imagine we'll still be right there near the top in the country in retention. I mean, we'll have some guys go pro. We'll probably have some guys move on. But I mean, some guys maybe just want to go play, that haven't really had as much opportunity to play. That's just all part of it. And, we're here to help them. We're here to help them. We got great relationships, and these kids, like I said, they love Clemson. You might have some guys that graduate that may want to go and play. We had a couple of those guys last year, right, that have had a chance to go and play at some smaller schools and have some opportunity. And that's a great thing. Nothing wrong with that. Most of the kids that leave here are graduates, the great majority of them. They want to get their degree here, and then they might move on at some time or another. But, we got to just see how it all shakes out. There's no number. We know right now, like, if everything stayed the same, hey, we know we need a couple of spots, but we'll see how it all plays out.
I saw on one of the preview shows a couple of weeks ago, a coach saying well, in this day and age, I have to cut kids. Right? Kids in a high school class, and they don't work out, and we'll tell them they got to go. Would you ever do that? I mean,
No, man. As long as a kid does what he's supposed to do here, he's going to have an opportunity to graduate from Clemson. That's just the way it is. I mean, it's going to always be that way as long as I'm going to be the head coach. Kid comes to Clemson, he's a good kid. If he's not a good enough player, that's on us. As long as he goes to class, he's a great effort guy. He's a good citizen. It's till graduation do we part. That's just the way it is. And again, we've led the nation in graduation too the last 3 years. So, and for a long time, we've been top 10 academically around here for 14 years. I mean, we've always, that's the number one thing in this program is graduation. And if a kid doesn't, sometimes kids get hurt. Sometimes you have high hopes for a guy, maybe just doesn't develop quite like you thought. But no, that's not who we are. But when we do decide what we need, I'm going to let y'all advertise it for me. I'm going to let y'all tweet it out, and because I don't have social media, so I'm going to have to count on y'all to tweet it out for me. Coach Swinney says they need a boom, and call 1-800, Dabo.com, whatever. We'll need somebody. So I'll let y'all advertise that for me when we get to that point. But I don't know. I don't think anybody knows. I mean, you got a good idea of where you are roster-wise, but I guess who knows?
This is going to be the first off season with Kevin Kelly having a full
Yeah.
however many months. Like how is he helping prepare you guys?
Yeah, he's great. Kevin's got a great eye. He's, I think, a great evaluator. He's a pro. I mean, 25 years of professional scouting. I mean, that's why we brought him in here. And then he's been front office stuff as well. So he does a great job with Jordan, but not just with recruiting, but also opponents, our roster. From a evaluation. Just a different lens from a scouting standpoint. So no, he's great. He's great. He's sharp. He's smart. He's very just cut and dry. And that's just because that's the lens he comes from, from a long, long time. So he's been good. He's been a good voice in the room, and I think this is really his kind of first full year, because he came in the spring, so we're kind of down the road, but he's been a part of everything, and he's got like I said, he's a great resource and a good addition to our staff.
How much is his role just evaluating the roster and saying this is where we have needs?